Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Flamme Rouge. In the game of Flamme Rouge, you are racing cyclists. You have two on your team. You only need to get one of them across the finish line. If multiple players get across that finish line in the same round, whoever is furthest ahead will win the game. At the start of the game, everyone will choose their starting positions. We all start behind the start line. Green may choose to start there. Blue may choose to start there. The reason to start not on the line is so that you can get some slipstream, which I will talk about shortly. The board is set up on what's called Ballon Central or Central. I don't have an accent, so deal with it. There are many cards in the box that tell you different ways that you could set up your game. You have two decks of cards, the S and the R. Notice I'm not using words, they're not in English, so it's easier not to get myself into trouble by mispronouncing stuff. The S deck has 3 number 2s, 3 3s, 3 4s, 3 5s, and 3 9s. The R deck has 3 3s, 4s, 5s, 6, and 7s. The way the game is played is you'll select one of your decks. It does not matter which one you choose to start with. You will deal yourself 4 cards out of that deck. You'll then look at those cards. The number that is in the top corner tells you how far that rider will go with the card that you've selected. So if, for example, the green decide to go with this one, that means the player with the S on his back, which is the guy at the back here, will go 3 spaces. The rest of those cards go face up at the bottom of the deck. Once that card has been selected, he'll then go to his other deck, his other rider, draw 4 cards, and have a look at them. 3, 6, 7. He will select one, put that face down, they go face up, so it's the same on both decks. I'll just pull them out for the moment without looking and seeing what that is. Then everyone moves forward. We start with the player at the front. Now, there are 2 spots. The player who is closest to the double line, so the one on the right hand side as they head along here, is the one who's actually in front. So that player, the R of blue, will go first, and he would go 5. So it's real simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The blue S is next, and he will also go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if the green were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they would have to actually stop at the number 5 because there's no space available within the number 6. However, if they went 7 or 8 or 9, so to the other side of the blue player, they would be able to just go through. The green R is the next one in line. So he's going for a 3. 1, 2, 3. And the green S, 1, 2, 3. Now, the very next thing that happens is that you work out slipstreaming. Where we have the guys at the moment, no one is going to be able to slipstream. If this R had gone 4 instead of 3, so let's just pretend that he's done that. There's 1 space between this rider and this rider, so he would get to slipstream on him. Now, there's 1 space between this rider and these riders, which would mean both of them, the entire pack, would get to slipstream on that front one. If, however, they've landed as they did in the actual race, there's more than 1 space, so no one gets to slipstream. Now, what happens with anyone who has an empty square in front of them is they will get these cards into their deck. So the blue player would get both an R and an S. They go face up on the bottom, so it's not something you're going to have to deal with straight away, but they're going to have to deal with eventually. Green has an empty square in front of him as well. S does not, because he's behind at least one other player. So this doesn't count as a full square, it needs to be a completely empty square. So we'd throw one of these into the bottom of that deck. What's going to happen when they come through into your hand is if you choose to use them, they will hold you back at only being able to go 2 spots or 2 spaces when you're riding. The players will continue through their decks until they find these face-up cards, at which point they will then shuffle everything that's face up and continue dealing cards from there. That's the basic game. Now, there is one additional rule or expansion that I haven't covered. This board, or this track, is set up with red and blue spots. What they are about is red spots are harder to ride along because you're going up a hill. The blue ones are easier because you're going down a hill. So what that means is if you're going up a hill, you cannot use anything higher than a 5. So from where the blue players are at the moment, he could play the 4, which would mean 1, 2, 3, 4. He's now in this red area. If you wish to play the 9, however, that was 4, he would go to here, which is 5. But the rest of that number 9 is now wasted and cannot be used. So if you start or finish your movement within the red, you're maxed at a number 5. On this player's next turn, if he uses a 2, that's fine. That will get him out of the red area. Then on that player's next turn, because he's starting in the blue area, if he were to play a 2 now, he would still go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. So 5 is the minimum when you're coming down the hill. While 5 is the max going up, 5 is the minimum coming down. Coming down only affects you if you start in the blue area. If you travel through the blue area during your turn, it doesn't affect you. Whereas the red going up the hills affects you all the time that you're within that. So if you're starting outside it and moving into it, then you're going to have to limit your movement to 5. If you start in the red area, then the maximum movement you can do, again, is also 5. And that's pretty much Flamme Rouge. I hope this helps you get Flamme Rouge to the table. If you would like to go on and watch my gameplay to get a feel for how the game actually plays, that would be great to have a look for my next video. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplained, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.